He's the president of Communio, by the way, and he feels that the answer to America's loneliness crisis isn't better when you combine artificial relationships. In other words, if you have a bot that you're allowing to be your friend or your lover or whatever, that is certainly not helping you. JP, tell me where I'm wrong here.
Jake, you're dead right. Look, the reality is there's some alarming new data out, both at Stanford and from our friends at the Institute for Family Studies. Right, first on Stanford, this new research shows that those who engage in just companionship, not just friendship, right, and have conversations, particularly where they share more meaningful points with the AI companion.
But it's artificial. It's artificial. It's artificial.
They have lower well-being. Well, the reality is those folks aren't doing so well, right? That's what we're knowing. The scary thing is that 1 in 7, 15% of all young adults 21 to 30 who are in an existing real-life dating relationship, engaged or married, 15% of that group say that they're in a romantic relationship with an AI also, okay, which is incredibly concerning. This is a new disruptive technology. These numbers are going to move and shift, but another 20 to 30% of folks from this group, Jake, say, at least admit that they've experimented with such romantic relationships via AI, right? This is a new, right? This is an example of a disruptive, problematic, it's a technology that has certainly some good adaptations of it, but there's some really bad adaptations of it, and we're going through a bit of we're going through and going to go through a population bottleneck because of the collapse of fertility, the collapse of marriage. A lot of this it's not entirely the cause of tech, for sure. The decline on marriage precedes smartphones, precedes a lot of modern trends on the internet, but it's part of the overall story. Okay, a lot of young men and women are spending a lot of their leisure time online, on social media. Women becoming radicalized on social media. Guys spend too much time on playing Madden or Apex Legend, as the kids do, and not enough time meeting it, touching grass, hanging out, and just forming the kind of friendships that can lead to marriage.
The fact is, since smartphones became so popular, and we started giving them to our children, contact between human beings seems unnatural. Right now, it's far easier to send somebody a text. And I said to my wife yesterday, she was saying, well, contact somebody. I'm going to call them. Why? Because I don't want to send them a text. I want to communicate. I want to hear their voice. We don't remember the phone companies, well, you're not as old as I am, JP, but they used to have commercials, reach out and touch someone where they were trying to get people to talk. You remember that? Do you reach out and touch someone anymore? No, you send them a text message. You go on, you paste something on Facebook. And that has created distance between human beings. And that distance is manifesting itself. And now that AI is here, these people that don't know what closeness is because they've been texting someone every day, they fall prey to this need to touch someone. And what are they touching? A computer, artificial intelligence. What do you think?
Yeah, no, we need to, kids are getting phones too young, for sure. Adults, look, this thing is this device that I'm holding in my hands, this iPhone, is a supercomputer, really.
It is. It's not a phone. It's a computer. Right.
Right. And as parents, we need to be a lot more careful about giving them, our kids don't get phones until they drive. And we tell people if they need to get a hold of you, they can call the house, or they can call mom or dad. But
I didn't have cell phones. I went to a payphone if I had to call my parents. I had a dime. Yes, payphones. They did cost a dime at one time.
Well, look, this is a real problem, right? There are no payphones, as an example, right? So you need, when you're dropping off, when we drop our kids off, we have 8 kids. When we drop our kids off at practice or a game or whatever, they can't just go to a payphone. So, but there are great, tech. There's great, like the Bark phone or the Gab phone, like my kids have, where it's just a phone. It's just calls and texts. There's no, real apps, and that's a great way to, stand. When you got to reach your kids, you can reach your kids. When they got to reach you, they can do so, right?
Right.
We have to. It's funny. There's been some new stuff talking about SABSing. Okay, this is an acronym which means see and be seen. It's a hilarious reaction to the dating app and tech culture, which, Jake, you and I would just say this is just the way people used to meet in real life. Just, the idea of like being open to engaging in conversation, maybe even use a pickup line. I don't know, talk to somebody.
What's your favorite pickup line, JP?
Right. Oh,
JP,
man.
what's your favorite pickup line?
I used to do this. A friend of mine would be a wingman, and I would say, "Look, my buddy's shy. He's a little bit embarrassed to say this, but he wanted to know if you thought I was cute." Right. That was my favorite. That was my favorite pickup line in college. But
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Let me get to a couple of questions that have been posted for you, JP Gance, president of Communio, on our Dial Interactive board, courtesy of Meineke doing car care right. First one from our listener producer, Eric. Is social media like AI? You don't know what is real and what is fake. Well, it's the same thing with the dating apps now. Women are saying, I see this picture of this person. I don't know if that person is being accurately represented on this dating app. I hear that as well. That's the influence of AI, right?
Yeah, no, look, you've got AI generated social media. Look, when you engage in social media, each social media platform has its own algorithm that curates content to further engagement. And what further engages you is most frequently rage, right? So if you get upset about something, you're more likely to click, post, you get, triggered. That's why the term trolling is used, right? When you're trolling, you're getting quick response, you're getting responses.
Right.
So our social media is it oftentimes it's contributing to the radicalization of women. This horrifying episode of
the New York State the New York State Executive Building up in Albany. Yeah, absolutely, it's scary.
And so we've got what we need to do is encourage our young people to have friendships in real life. Our kids. We discourage social media with them. They don't have any. I've got until they're 18. Okay, and so
until they're adults.
Right.
They can make their own decisions.
So this is, and as a consequence, our kids. This is important. They have real life friendships. When we talk to churches, Jake, we work with churches around the country.
Yep.
Protestant and Catholic churches, with a number of them in St. Louis and all over the country. And I'll tell you, we a big part of this, we use tech. Technology has its role. Social media has its role. It's all geared towards driving in real life community, right? We're use digital.
Let me stop you right there, JP, if I can. You go into neighborhoods now. Neighbors don't have anything to do with one another. They don't talk to one another. People move in and out. They never say hello. If you need to buy a cup of sugar, you don't go next door or borrow a cup of sugar. What do? You send somebody a text, even if you have their cell number.
Yeah.
Has the reliance on social media driven neighbors apart, where neighbors don't even have anything to do with one another unless it's on social media? What do you say to that?
Yeah, look, social trust is collapsing.
That's a good point.
Social media doesn't help. The collapse of marriage has a lot more to do with the societal-wide collapse of social trust, right?
Huh.
At the end of the day, moms and dads, going out and your kids playing down the street with kids from other families,
right.
Mom and dad in the home, you can go play with Joey because his mom and dad. In a world where you have fewer and fewer married homes, you have less and less.
That's a good point.
Playing in the street and going out and being able to trust your neighborhood, that your kids will, there's a lot of data that parents aren't allowing their kids to go very far from their home. And certainly there's a helicopter parenting issue
Yeah.
there. I think another thing is parents don't communities where there's less marriage, there's more crime. Okay, there's there aren't a lot of married men who
Interesting.
are robbing people. Married men are unlikely to mug people. The reality is you say marriage civilizes men, and I know Mrs. DeGance agrees with that. And the reality is if that's true, we've never been at a time in our history where we've had more uncivilized men in our communities because there's
Boy,
so
that's a
few
great
married
point.
men.
Never thought of that, JP. Never thought of that. Let me get to another question from one of our listener producers. Eric asks, if 50% of bots are fake, how do you decipher what is real and what is not? Well, that's the challenge of AI, right?
Yeah, look, I certainly get a lot of news from my X feed, right? But you got to be careful on
Oh, yeah.
on vetting and
Oh,
sorting
yes.
what's real
Yep.
and if it's not verified from other independent sources, I'm highly dubious and skeptical of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big part of it. And look, there's a lot of a lot of virality, a lot of stuff that looks like it's viral is manufactured virality through recognizing that there's paid influencers. Folks pay influencers to repost it, real life people. Okay, so that's part of it. And then there's bots that are built and set up by companies to drive engagement and create the perception of real virality, right? So
It's a false reality. It is a
right,
false reality.
right.
That's exactly what it is. JP, I got to ask you one question before we scat. You're Catholic. You and your wife raised your children as a very strong Catholic family, right?
Yes.
Do you think the Catholic Church and the Catechism of the Catholic Church needs to address how parents bring their children up with respect to social media and big tech? Is it time for the church to step forward here? And you say?
Yes. There's a lot of different vehicles the church has the Catholic Church has to make these points. You have encyclicals, you have apostolic exhortations,
Right.
You have documents created by your National Bishops' Conference. The Catechism is certainly another vehicle. I think one of the things the Pope did well in this encyclical on AI is reinforcing. Look, we should, I don't even think we should be naming our AI as people, right? Like it's not human, right? This is a long language model. Okay, it's simulated to look and sound real. The term artificial intelligence is itself a good bit of a misnomer. There's no consciousness there, and you can see this play out in the tech bros who are so poorly formed on sound philosophy that they can't grasp the difference between consciousness and reality and tech. So I think there's opportunities for certainly the Catholic Church and our Protestant brothers and sisters to proclaim some good truths on this stuff and guidance for parents.
In an era in America where mental health is a problem, this coming together of AI in our society, my friends, is going to cause a lot of problems for those who have mental health issues. There's no question about it. JP DeGance, president of Communio. There is a link to Communio right on my show notes for today at realnewstalk.com. JP, it's good to see you.
Always great to be with you. Thank you so
much. All
right,
thanks. We'll talk to you soon. We appreciate you coming on. All right, my friends. Salute the troops coming up in just a moment on your News Talk America Digital Interactive Friday continues.